Hello everyone, welcome back. So in today's lesson, we're going to go and continue off the volume exercise, especially in section C. Now what section C continued is, for question 7 and 8, is they're going to go through a volume of questions that are composite shapes. Okay, so remember, we have to work out the area of the composite shape first, and then we have to multiply by the height to work out the volume of composite prisms. So I'm going to start off with question 7, and remember these examples are designed to be a bit challenging, so don't be scared if you get them wrong. So let's take a look at question 7a. Okay, now 7, I'm just going to do 7a because there's only 2 examples in question 7 and I don't want to do both examples. Let's take a look. So in this question, it says complete the calculate. Okay, it should be complete and calculate the volumes of these composite shapes. So how do we do this? So remember, we know that the volume is going to be equal to the area of this shape, right? Multiplied by the what? Multiplied by the height. In this case is 8. So before we do anything, we need to work out the area of this cross section first. And they've kind of drawn this diagram for you to help you out. They've split up this shape into 2 rectangles, and basically you just have to add the 2 areas to get the area of the cross section before multiplying by the height. So let's do it. So area of base is A1 plus A2. Now A1 is this shape here. So how do we get the area of this shape? So we just find the area of a rectangle, 14 times 6. And then the second one, A2 is this area here. So how do we get the area of that? That's just a square, right? So if it's a square, then we just do 4 times 4 to get the area of the square. And what's the height of the prism? The height is 8, right? 8 millimeters. Okay. Now basically you just have to simplify this. 14 times 6, well, that's 84. And what's 4 times 4? That's 16, right? So 84 plus 16 should give you 100. Alright, so then the area of this composite shape, so this shape, is 100. Now how do you find the area, how do you find the volume of the prism? You just have to multiply the area by the height. So the area of the base is 100 times by the height is 8. So what you should get is 800 cubic millimeters, which is already written for you. Okay, so in question 7, they kind of break it down for you so that you're able to figure out how to do it. Now in question 8, they will want you to kind of use this kind of method to do these questions. So I'm just going to pick an example, say question B. Alright, so let's take a look. So remember, to find the volume of these composite shapes, well, this is not exactly a composite shape because we know this is a trapezium, but we can treat it as a composite shape. You need to find the volume, you need to work out the area. In this case, it's the area of this trapezium multiplied by the height. So let's just work out the area first. What is the area? What is the area of the trapezium? So if you remember the formula, area of the trapezium is the height multiplied by A plus B multiplied by a half, right? So what does this equal to? So what's the height of the trapezium? The height is 17. Alright, by the way, do not get confused between the height of the trapezium and the height of the prism. The height of the prism is 9. The height of the trapezium is 17. Alright, and what's A? A is 28. B is 13. Times by half. Alright, there's the calculator. Just type it into your calculator. So we do 17 times by, remember the bracket, 28 plus 13. Multiplied by, close the bracket, multiplied by a half. Alright, what does this give you? This gives you, okay, we can convert this to a decimal, 348.5. Now remember, to find the volume, you need to multiply the area by the height. So therefore, the volume is equal to 348.5 times by the height. In this case, the height is what? 9. So what does this give you? So we just do 348.5 times 9, and we get 3136.5. Now, what unit is this? This is cubic centimeters. All right, so that's question B for you. Let me do another question. So say question F. Question F. All right, so question F, this is actual composite shape. So make sure you pay attention, because in the exam, I notice a lot of you struggle to do some of these questions which ask you to find the area of a composite shape. Now just remember, to find the area of a composite shape, you just have to divide the shape up into individual shapes. Now for this one, what I can do is I can find the area of this whole rectangle, right? Area of the whole rectangle, and then what I'm going to do is take away the area of this square, right? Oh wait, well it's not a square, but take away the area of this shape, if that makes sense. So let's try that. So volume is equal to area of the cross section times by the height. Now how do you find the area? Well, we can work out the area of this shape, the green shaded part, by working out the area of the whole rectangle, take away the black shaded part, right? So what's the area of the whole rectangle? Well, the whole rectangle is going to be 24 times 14. Oops. 24 times 14. And we have to take away the area of the black shaded part. So what's that? We know that it's going to be 10 by something. So how do we find out the length of this part here? So we know that this is 8 and this is also 8, as because it's indicated by the two horizontal lines. So if this is 8 and this is 8 and the whole thing is 24, then what should that be? That should be 8, right? Because 8 plus 8 plus 8 gives you 24. So then we know this shape on the inside is going to be 10 by 8. So then we take away 10 times 8. And that will give you the area of the green shaded part. Now what does this equal to? So we do 24 times 14, take away 10 times 8. That's 256. Okay, so 256. So the area of the cross section is 256. And to work out the volume, we just have to multiply the area by the height of this solid. So in this case, the height is 7. And this gives you 256 times 7 is 1792. And the units is cubic meters. Alright, so I hope by going through these two examples, it gives you kind of an understanding of how to do these questions. So I'm just gonna stop over here, and I'll try to get you guys to do the rest of the questions. If you have any questions, just feel free to send me a message on Google Classroom or post it in front of the whole class. Thank you for listening.